So I said, tell me a little bit about yourself. You've jumped around. You really weren't in any one place very long. I said, why is it? And he said, well, Coach, I can tell you one thing. He said, I don't drink. I love football, but I absolutely hate school.
I didn't like school, period. Point blank. I didn't like it.
And so that's why I've had this issue of jumping around, because I couldn't keep my grades up.
I just want to play football. That's it. Nothing less, nothing more.
Cincinnati has selected wide receiver from Oregon State University, Chad Johnson.
There is no better feeling than when you get that name called. You can't replace that. You can't. At that time, I was just happy to be a part of the draft in general. I was happy to have my name being mentioned, Like, you know where I come from? You know how hard it is? The odds were stacked against me my entire life. And I didn't make it any easier. I went the long way.
So he just barely got through the cracks. I mean, it was that close.
Raised in Liberty City, Chad Johnson now had the freedom to pursue his dream of playing pro football.
The Bengals took me, and I was forever grateful. I didn't care where I went, which a lot of players need to focus on. It really doesn't matter where you go. It's what you do once you get there. That's it.
To understand Cincinnati, when Chad was drafted by the Bengals, you have to go back to the 1990s, which has been referred to as the lost decade in Cincinnati. They went to the playoffs in January of 1991, and then, unfortunately, they were basically the NFL's laughingstock for about 13 years.
I heard players talking about that they don't want to come to the Bengals, but this is where I want to be, to make a difference. That's how I felt when I got drafted. Oh, they losing? Well, I'm gonna do everything I can to change everything around. If Cincinnati at that time was a dim light, I was gonna make sure they were gonna shine.
Chad Johnson provided Cincinnati with high-speed service, but without a connection.
Keep your head in the game, man. Don't let them throw you the ball. Don't worry about them not throwing you the ball. You gotta keep your head in the game now.
After winning just 2 games in 2002, the Bengals hired head coach Marvin Lewis to lead them out of the division basement. Chad Johnson set his sights even higher.
What's up today? You tired?
Secret.
Sir.
I want to be one of the greatest to ever play this game.
That's not a secret.
But I want to be better than Rice.
That's right.
Y'all got to help me.
And we're gonna help you.
Well, I think I told him that was a good thing, but doing the work to be better than Jerry Rice, that's the hard part.
5 weeks into the 2003 season, Johnson not only bought into Coach Lewis's challenge, he raised the stakes.
Well, we were sitting in the office, and he had a bad game.
I was upset at my performance against Buffalo. I'd never forget that.
Pops in, got this check written out to me for $100,000 and said,
if my next game I don't perform up to par, I want you to keep this and cash that check. And I meant it. Next game, I went crazy. I went off.
We never had any intention of keeping it. I had it in my top desk drawer and then ripped it up at the end of the year, but that was kind of typical of Chad.
If they stop me today, any coverage, 2-man, 55, cover 2, man-to-man, I will give you my game check.
I needed the pressure to perform at a high level. It's really weird. It's like most players like to go into games quiet and just play. I needed to force myself. I needed to put pressure on myself to go out there and play week in and week out.
Chad Johnson, Cincinnati Bengals. You sent the whole secondary a package.
Watch out.
Just want to what? You see that?
Wow.
The whole point was I was going to make them sick, or they were going to get sick of covering me, so here's some Pepto ahead of time.
So you sent them boys
Yeah, bottles of Pepto.
You do stuff like that, don't you? People thought that was a ploy. It wasn't. That's just who Chad was. Chad was a showman that way, and he needed that.
This is the standard, and next on the list is Jerry Azuma. As we can see, we have 2 fallen victims already, Mr. Baxter and Mr. Smoot.
The list in his locker, I love that list. It was a list,
you know, going into the week, would this guy be able to cover me one-on-one?
I thought it was funny. I mean, I thought it was funny. As long as he came to work and practice every day, I didn't care, and he no doubt practiced harder than just about anybody I've ever played with.
Marvin Lewis was not a fan of the list.
I came in this morning, and authority had taken that good list down, and this is what was put in my locker. So therefore, I have to challenge myself throughout the week to make sure I help lead my team to victory.
I'm always telling him, no, don't do that. Don't do that. You know, if I could get wind of it.
Hey, come on. I want you right there. All right. That's why I need you.
I wanted to make sure you were at your best so you understood where I was at my game at the time, to where I know you coming and I'm still going to beat you. I used to tell Chris McAllister my routes. Chris, I got a slant. What you gonna do? I used to tell him. It couldn't stop me. It's not that I was a physical presence and no, that's not what it was. My feet, they were scared of my feet. There was nothing you could do.
His abruptness and his ability to start and stop. I don't know if there's a receiver that's played this game that could create more separation than Chad could.
His quickness was a major problem. I didn't really want to be in man coverage, and no matter who we had on him.
And you can take your feet and take the routes and make it look a certain way and then break it off that quick, the way he can. He can stop on the dime, you know, he don't weigh but $105.
He could be on the sideline and be close to going out of bounds and find a way to hang in the air for another half a second, contort his body in the air like a gymnast to make the catch, secure the ball, and get both of his feet in bounds.
Unbelievable effort. You talk about body control. Man.
Tell him I said, I'm always open.
I'm always open. I'm open. Just throw me the ball. I'm 7'11", always open. You know,
You can put him in a phone booth with a couple of DBs and he'll pick up the phone like, hey, I'm open.
Promise, double team, triple team. They might have to put Bush Davis out there. I got everything.
They had double coverage on him. Chad just outran him. It wasn't even close.
In 2005, Johnson led the AFC in receiving yards for a third straight year, while making good on his rookie year promise.
2005 was the year that it combined his excellence with the team finally being good.
Touchdown, Chad Johnson.
Cincinnati clinches their first division title since 1990.
And with his antics, the list, Chad made Cincinnati cool again.
And so thanks to you for, bringing hope. You are, again, a source of pride to the tri-state.
I am still thankful for the fresh breath of air I brought to that team at a time where it really wasn't fun to watch.
We silence the critics for now. I guarantee you it's gonna be something else that they say why we not the real deal.
Yeah. Can I get some?
I've really made the game fun and entertaining, and never in a malicious way. And it was so fun to a point where players and coaches and the referees before games were like, "What we got today? Like, what's coming?"
I got a great celebration for you guys. Again, just wait and see the next one. Okay.
What is your favorite Endzone celebration of all time?
My favorite? Maybe that sombrero and poncho in honor of Spanish Heritage Month. That was a good one, and maybe the marriage proposal.
Chad Johnson on the sideline got on a knee like he was proposing to Daphne over there. And I don't know if Daphne accepted or not.
The river dance? Come on, are you kidding me? In Chicago? I don't know where he got these from.
Something would initiate it on a Tuesday. We went to play the Bears, and a commercial for the Lord of the Dance came on TV, and I was like, you know what? That looks funny. That looks funny, and I'm gonna try to do that dance if I can score.
It was different, there's some guys now that dance and they point at themselves, and he just wanted to do something that the fans would enjoy.
And now he's running the camera. He's taking the crowd shot.
It's actually pretty funny. I mean, in Cincinnati, it was a weekly game. What's he going to do next?
I liked every one of them except one.
Induct myself. Put that thing on me. Huh?
What does that say? Future Hall of Fame.
That was dope.
Well, Marvin Lewis was a little upset about it.
I'm sure he was, along with a lot of other people. I wasn't upset.
Did Marvin talk to you about it?
I can't remember. Even if he did, I probably wasn't listening.
Bad move. Told him that when I found out about it after the fact. I mean, that's the pinnacle of this profession, and never do you do anything that would be construed as not respectful of the Hall of Fame. His pranks and his dances that he did, by doing those stunts, it put so much pressure on himself that if the game didn't break his way right away in the game, he'd get totally frustrated, and they would almost do the opposite and take him out of his game.
I will never forget Chad coming out. The first time I seen him do it, you know, he kind of walked around the parking lot and thanked everybody for being there for the playoff game because he was coming to put on a show.
Good to see you. Good? Yes, sir. Hey, you gonna like this one. Trust me, you're gonna like it.
Yeah, but you gotta get in the end zone.
I will. I gotta talk to him right there. All right. I gotta talk to him.
The atmosphere was crazy. It just felt different than any home game. Carson launches that ball to Chris and sets the tone for the game. I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be a long day for the Steelers. And I look back and Carson's down. I'm like,
Carson Palmer being carted off.
We had a very capable backup in John Kitna, and John went in and did a good job, but the problem was the ball wasn't getting to Chad.
Well, he couldn't get the ball because the game plan changed. In all fairness to John, John was a tremendous player, but you're going to play John different than you play Carson Palmer.
Johnson finished the game with just 4 receptions and failed to reach the end zone in the Bengals' loss. After the game, reports of a halftime fight between Johnson and his coaches emerged from the media.
There wasn't a fight. I think at halftime what happened was Chad came in and he was getting the IV in his arm, and he was very frustrated.
And he just kind of went off and, you know, I need to get the ball for us to win. I need to get the ball.
And he yanked the IV out because he was getting an IV at halftime, so the blood starts spurting.
And all of a sudden this big commotion comes rolling out of the training room.
And he's being loud. And so I think everybody thinks is, oh my gosh, him and Hugh are fighting.
Chad can't fight nobody. That's the most amazing thing, because Chad Johnson can't whoop nobody, nor would he ever take a swing at somebody that could swing back at him.
I think everyone in that locker room could have beat me up back then. I was like 180 pounds.
I know a lot of people say it was one of his worst times, and people seen him as being very selfish, but I really didn't, because in his opinion, had he touched the ball, we would have had a better chance to win.
I think he was a good selfish when he was Chad Johnson. I think it was a bad selfish when he became Ochocinco.
Has he ever had Ochocinco as his uniform before, to our knowledge? That'd be a good idea. I didn't know.
I thought it was a great idea, and the idea came from Carson himself. Hey, why don't you put Ochocinco on the back of your jersey?
He tried to speak a lot of Spanish, and he obviously never took Spanish.
Marquina, let's go, please. Marquina, ven aquí.
And he was always wrong when he tried to put him into a sentence. So Ochocinco just kind of made sense.
Hey, take that off for me. Take it off, before I get in trouble.
The NFL fined me for it. So my thought was, I'm going to change it in the offseason legally to Ochocinco to where it has to be on the back of my jersey permanently.
People were like, that's stupid. Ochocinco, that's not even 85. Okay, who cares? He gets a percentage of every sale of a jersey that's sold. I think it's brilliant.
What's up, man? This is your boy, Chad, a.k.a. Ochocinco, a.k.a. the Black Mexican.
We didn't speak. I wouldn't accept his calls until he changed his name, because that's not who I taught how to play the position. I taught Chad Johnson. I thought Ochocinco was a clown.
There he had $1 in his hand as if he said, oh, I bet you $1 that that's a completed pass. Either that, he was going to pay off the officials.
Nothing suffered. Nothing. I was enjoying the game the same way I did as Johnson.
The same couldn't be said for the Bengals. After 3 straight seasons of missing the playoffs, the once beloved toast of the town became a target.
My frustration with Ochocinco, he's a phenomenal player, but until he stopped doing some of that stuff, it eventually costs this team. Well, that's the nature of the beast. You know, you get leeway with it when you're winning, but when it starts to go the other way, the team's losing, those antics start to become an issue.
Do you feel like you're being a distraction, or is that what you've been told?
Are we reading the same papers? We seeing the same stuff?
It was right in a long line of, oh my goodness, here's something different he's doing now. You know, between the horse and all the different things he did.
There came a point where Chad became different than the Chad that first was on the scene when I came here. And football didn't end up being as important as it once was to him.
I think I was more so frustrated with losing. Dude, that wears on you, man. Man, we got to win stuff like this, man. They ain't supposed to be close no more. That's the Bengals are old. And to say that the way I am and the way I operate, the way I play the game is part of the reason we're losing, that hurt. That stung. That stung.
It's me. No, seriously, everything is me. You know, a lot of media from outside is pointing the finger. When things don't go right with us offensively, it's my damn fault.